Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the Break Oleg podcast, episode 4. Live from Sheepshead Bay, motherfuckers. They tell me I gotta watch how many fucks I say, but we don't give a fuck about the fucks, I'm here with my friend Roman Blat.
What up?
What's good? Say hello to the people.
Hello, people.
Welcome to the Break Oleg podcast. Yeah, man. We're here. We're doing it. We're in Sheepshead Bay, as I mentioned. I'm sitting here with one of my good friends, Roman Blat. He's an actor. He's an artist. He's a musician.
NFT creator?
NFT creator, well, you know what? Let me... Look at this. This is what happens when you broadcast outside. You're out with the fucking elements. You got to deal with the elements and the noises, but that's what the Break Oleg podcast is all about. We're out on these streets, motherfuckers. I don't know where you guys are, but we out on these streets, But anyways, it's enough of me blabbering. Introduce yourself to the people. Let them know a little bit about yourself and who you are.
Hello, everybody. My name is Roman Blat. I'm an actor.
Get closer to the mic so that they can hear you a little bit more. There we go.
You've seen me on something, possibly. I've been on a bunch of shows and films, and I have NFTs that I put out that have sold, and I have some canvas work and a bunch of like street art and stuff like that.
Let them know where they can find you. Let them know if they're looking for you. Let them know where they can find you.
You could definitely hit up all social media at Roman Blat, or definitely hit up www.rabbitartwork.com and hit me up on IMDb, see what I've done, and see if you've seen me before.
Hell fucking yeah, man. So let the people know, how did you get started in acting? How long have you been doing it? So for those that don't know, Roman is on Law & Order right now. He's been on this past 6 episodes, right? The next one is episode 8, and he's on that motherfucker as well.
Law and Order, organized crime.
Organized crime, dealing with the fucking, with the, hey, what are you guys doing, huh? Is that, or more of the Russian?
Nah, it's just like big crime organization and RICO stuff. And I have a very small role, but it's reoccurring, and got arrested last episode, and I'll be in the next episode, which is episode 8, airing on Thursday.
I used to know a dude named Rico from Puerto Rico. But that's exciting, man. How long have you been acting now? I remember when you first started, but let the people know, how long the grind has been going on for at this point.
It's been a little over 10 years, I believe. I'm suddenly conscious of me wearing shorts, if you can see.
If your balls are hanging out, well, that's how you know you reach a certain age, that when your balls start hanging out, and then you reach a certain other age when you stop giving a fuck that your balls are hanging out.
Right. I'm almost there.
Yeah, it's getting there. Yeah. Somebody said that, like, he saw some old guy sitting on the fucking, on the train, and his balls were sitting next to him. Yeah. Shout out to Greg Criticos for that joke, But, yeah. But thank you for having me over here. As you can see, we're fucking sipping on fine wine, eating cheese like fucking, like fancy people over here, Even though we still out on these streets, it doesn't mean we can't be classy,
Yeah, this balcony was actually just storage for art supplies until the pandemic hit and my girlfriend decided that we should renovate. And now it's this beautiful oasis.
That's what happens.
It's a small spot, but it's nice to be out here,
I found that, there was the one time you met her. You remember when I used to live with one of my exes. Girls, for whatever reason, when they show up somewhere, they need to completely rearrange the fucking furniture and change everything around to something different. That I lived in the same apartment for fucking 10 years, and then and I never moved anything in there. The second she moved in, she rearranged the place 3 different times.
I'm saying, though, look at this balcony.
It's beautiful. It's fucking gorgeous. It's definitely much better than the crack den. I guess it wasn't a crack den. It was still a nice balcony, but
no, it just had like bags of art supplies and like pigeons living in here.
Listen, there were some artsy pigeons, I guess, right?
Yeah. They had kids, and then we felt bad about throwing them out.
No, that you can't. Not during COVID.
No, man. They started bringing their cousins and shit. It was fucked
Yep,
up.
yep. That's what happens, man. The squatter pigeons.
Mm.
They got them squatter pigeons in New York. They fucking come through and they're like, "What do you mean? This is my house now. I've been here for 30 days. You got to go through the courts to evict me."
Yeah, man. New York pigeons don't give a fuck, man.
Yeah, New York pigeons don't give a fuck. Fucking New York rats don't give a fuck. New York City cockroaches don't give a fuck. Pretty much anything that crawls in New York City, including the homeless people, don't give a fuck. You know,
Probably all people.
all people don't give a fuck. Listen, I've crawled a couple of times. I had to fucking crawl a couple of times, but listen, that's what you got to do. You know. Let's see. You just got back from Puerto Rico, right? How was that?
It was awesome. It was my girlfriend's birthday, so
Shout out. You know what I'm saying?
we actually booked a sauna trip, like an Airbnb for like real cheap, and you can get away and have like a little private sauna. It's a small little pool house, but you have like a private sauna, a private pool. And it's like $150 a night. It's dope. So we booked that, but we had to cancel it for my birthday because we had to shoot Law and Order. So
Oh shit.
fucking canceled. But we got our money back.
Well, at least you got that. You know.
And then we tried
Hold
to
on. I'm just gonna adjust, twist this way. Hold on, and do this like this, and hold on. Listen, this is what you got to do sometimes. This is a live production. Lower that a little bit. Bam. Now talk into it.
All right.
Oh man,
Much better.
much better. Look
Yeah.
at that. Look at that. That's what you got to do sometimes. Listen, this is fucking quality production over here at the Break O Leg podcast. You know. But anyway, sorry to cut you off.
Why didn't you do that earlier?
I was waiting to see if it would get better in some ways, and then I realized that it's not going to get better, and then I decided, you know what, let me save the fucking day and just do it, because you know what? Now it's so much better. You see that? Such a difference.
Did you not want to like fuck with it for the podcast? You didn't want to.
I don't want to ruin, I don't want to like go into it. I figured like, I didn't know that, I thought that because the front of the mic was facing you.
Mhm.
So I figured even though it's on like a little slant, it would still record. But then I realized that like, no, you got to get it literally like this, like straight, like in front of you. That's how
How do you know what's the front?
that's the
here?
front, because the front, I'll show you right now, that has a little fucking logo right there. That's how you know that's the front.
I see. It was blocked.
Yeah. That's why it gets tricky. That's why it gets tricky. But that's what we do over here at the Break O Leg podcast. We fix problems and we interview people and we talk about life, you know? And life is fucking good, man. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful day outside. But you were talking about your story and we kind of got sidetracked. So let's get back to it. So you're in Puerto Rico. You got canceled.
I like the sidetrack. I like that life is beautiful.
Life is beautiful. You know what I mean? You don't always have to stick to the fucking script. In fact, I like going off the script. You know, it's much better that way.
You see though, like it's a roller coaster though, because yesterday I was just feeling great. Everything was wonderful, and I'm like, life is amazing. And then I woke up, and for no reason, I'm just like, oh man, everything is fucked. Like,
Did you sleep good?
I did sleep well. It's just, I don't know. I didn't really have anything in particular to do today, and I'm like, unless I'm like super busy, I feel like something's wrong. And it
Really?
makes me feel fucked up.
So you need to occupy your time with something.
Yeah, that's why art is a really good thing, because my mind can just go away and I can just mindlessly paint, you know?
I think in general, art is a very creative outlet. It's a very soothing thing. It's very therapeutic, and you know, it can become financially rewarding also. You know, as you also know that.
Yeah.
So Roman also does street art, graffiti. You know, he's an NFT creator, like he mentioned.
Well, you actually gave me my first canvas.
Yeah,
to
man.
paint.
You know what? Tell the people the story, because it's actually an awesome story, and I'm actually very proud of it. It's a very special place in my heart.
How long ago was that?
It was about 6 years ago, I would say. 6 years ago. I was going to say today. 6 years ago. Today is the anniversary, but no, it's not the anniversary.
So about 6 years ago, I came to your house and I was admiring your paintings, and you encouraged me to paint, because you know I did some doodles in class, like on top of pages, like everybody does. You know.
So me and him were in the same high school together. I had a cartooning class with him, but we didn't know each other. But I saw his shit just because I'm like, I'm autistic and I fucking notice everything that's going on around me and shit. But I also noticed at a certain point when we became friends later on that he showed me some of the doodles he did, and they were pretty cool. They definitely had potential, and I always noticed that he would always doodle on things, and he kind of had like a creative little side to him. But I guess he never really thought that it could go anywhere or whatever it is. But I saw it, and I was like, dude, you need to paint this shit.
And I was resistant too. I remember like being like, nah, I'm never gonna use it. Don't even waste it on me.
Yeah.
You made me take some colors and a canvas.
No, the first thing I told you to do was I dripped some paint on like a canvas, and I was like, dude, just slide that shit the fuck around. Tell me that doesn't feel fucking great, just filling in the color. And you're like, you know what? It does kind of feel good. I remember that. And I was like, here. And I gave him, because I had like a set of every color, that basic color set, like, you know. So I gave him one of every color. I gave him a brush. I gave him. Let me not tell the story. Let you tell the story.
Nah, I just remember that you like almost forcefully encouraged me to take it with me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whatever, I'll take it, but I'll never get to it. And then like about a month and a half, I was doing just trying to occupy my time like in between auditions, and I started putting some color on that canvas, just trying to fuck with it. And it felt so good just to add some color to a white canvas and just go with it and see, you know, eventually something starts shaping and you're like, oh, I'll try to paint that, whatever, like you see in the canvas. And it feels so good, man.
It's a crazy thing that's how the human mind works, that your eye is trained to recognize things and create whatever it is. And it's a great way to capture imagination and to kind of let it flow. I mean, it's a creative, you know, it's a whole creative process. You know, you don't realize it until you take part of it, that it happens naturally.
And there's like a long time where like you don't want to tell anybody. I didn't want to tell anybody, or I didn't want to like show people my work or anything like that. And now I can't wait to show people, and I can't wait to like try to sell it and shit. It's fucking wonderful.
Yeah, it's your baby. You're proud of it. It's something you made, you created from your head, and it's something that other people appreciate. You know, it's one of those things that like I encourage everybody to make art, to make something, to follow their creative process, because you never know where it might lead to. You never know. But the other thing about Roman is that he saw a certain path, and he's one of those people that when he likes something or whatever it is, he goes all in, and he started hitting the streets. He started putting up stickers. You know, I remember you know, but I remember seeing some of the stuff that you did was really ahead of its time, you know, especially with some of the QR codes or whatever it is. So yeah, man. But that's cool. So that's how he got into art. And
thank you for that, by the way.
Well, you're very well. Thank
like,
you for
really,
fucking for you know following the thing, because that's what, to me, I believe that like you should. It's a process where like you make art, and but also you touch other people, whatever it is, in the whole thing, and they make art, and like it just, in the end, that's what you're there to do. You're a piece of a little puzzle that like whatever it is. So
dude, the biggest thing is like the mental health that comes from it. Like I can escape for a day, for two, and just see what happens. And I'm not like stuck in a repetitive cycle in my head, like do something, get something, go contact somebody, do this, do that, you know, like you just like drool out. Right,
because you get into your own idea. You see it, you know, you see it happening. And also the other part is like, you know, when you sell something, and you actually you make the money, you make a little bit of money from it, and it's like, wow, somebody actually values this thing, and also it becomes a part of somebody's everyday life. Like they come home, they see it hanging on their walls, it becomes like something that they walk towards, you know. It's literally you become a part of people's lives when you sell your art to them.
It's kind of like validating, and you know, makes you feel like somebody else appreciates you, which is always nice.
Which is kind of like what stand-up comedy is also. So there's the tie-in. There's my tie-in with being an artist, and you know, and pursuing comedy now and stuff like that, where it's a very similar feeling, where something you thought of, something you wrote, something you put together, and something you performed, you get a reaction from people, and if it's a positive reaction, you get this like high. You get this high, and I think every comic that goes up knows what this feeling is of like, or just being recognized by peers, like other artists and stuff like that. Well, like you put stuff out, and then they're like, "Oh, that's you. You're that guy," and you know, you get that feeling of like, "Oh shit, I'm not alone. Like in this little bubble. There's it's interacting with people."
It's the same thing with acting too. Like when you get recognized for something and you're proud of it, you're like, "Fuck," you know, because you put everything into it, and you're like, your heart on the line, everything.
Yep. Have you gotten recognized on the streets with your acting or anything like that yet?
very little. Like a couple of times when a show comes out, like maybe like when I did Person of Interest, somebody recognized me, like one of the vendors on the trains, like you know the
Hmm.
little kiosks, and I was running and I had to like get a drink because I was like really parched. He's like, "Wait a minute, you were on Person of Interest." I'm like, "Yeah," and I wish I could talk to you, but I gotta make this train
Wow,
because
but
like
that's awesome though.
I mean I like it. It's very rare for me. That's why I like it. But I see like a lot of these people who are like really big time and
Hmm.
how they start to hate it, and you could see that like if everybody like hassles you everywhere you go.
It becomes an invasion of privacy, right? You're kind
Probably.
of like you can't,
But I still like I'm not like at a point where I can imagine that. So like I kind of still want it.
right. I mean, listen, everything comes with something else. That's one thing you don't realize. There's a saying that's like, your new life will cost you your old one.
Hmm.
And I find that very interesting because you never know what you wish for. You got to be very careful sometimes, because like I've seen like interviews with like Pete Davidson or whatever it is where he's like, oh, being famous is like, not just being like you can't leave your house most times. That's like, so you know and then I've seen other artists or whatever it is who talk about it like, I think sometimes the best way to be is obscure enough that people don't recognize you for the most part, but famous enough that you have some sort of fan base out there. Maybe that's the kind of the
Well, the thing about like the characters that I play, I look different all the time, even though it's mostly like bad guys and stuff like that. I'm
right.
doing the same shit.
For those that don't know, Roman has been casted pretty much as an evil Russian or like a bad guy or like pretty much like Eastern European male villain,
Rapist,
a rapist. That was your
murderer,
first.
gangster, all this shit.
Wasn't your first ever little extra thing on Law and Order or something like that as rapist number 4 or something like that, rapist number 3?
Yeah, that was like some background thing I did, but it was visible because a lot of the time, if you do background work, you're not seen. You're just one of those people walking in the background.
Right.
But this was like a piece where like they put my face up as one of the perps,
Hmm.
and it was one of the first things I did when I didn't know anything about acting yet. So I was still like, oh wow, look, I'm on TV, you know.
You know what? I'm gonna try a new thing in editing, guys. Boom. Let's see that picture. I'm gonna try to put it up. Let's see if I can do it or not. If I didn't do it, that means no, we didn't do it, guys. but, but whatever. But yeah, man. You know what? I think it would be good if you tell people kind of like how you started with like doing background work and all this stuff and how you like got into like the union or whatever it is also because I think there's a lot of people that are listening that like might want to start going into acting but they don't know how to go about it or where to start or whatever it is. So why don't you let people know how you kind of got into it?
Sure. I was actually working in Chase as a banker, and I really hated it. It was good money, but like I woke up every morning hating my life, even though it wasn't a hard job. You do pretty much the same shit over and over, and like you live your cubicle life, but it's terrible. And a girlfriend at the time was trying to be an actress, and she's like, "Let's go to this like open casting call," and I'm like, "All right, whatever, let's go." And we went, and it was like around the block. We stood in there like for an hour, and we get there.
Do you remember what the open casting call was for?
No.
Okay.
But when we went through it, and we didn't know what the fuck we were doing, neither did she nor I. And as we were leaving, they asked if we wanted to be in a film called New Year's Eve, I think.
I remember
like,
that film.
It was like a star-studded like film, but,
Yep.
About some Christmas shit. And to me, that was like, wow, I can be in a movie. That's incredible.
Hmm.
And we did it, and we were like one out of like fucking 1,000 people or something like that, like a couple of hundred maybe, recreating like a Times Square scene. And I remember specifically like thinking like, wow, like I can't believe I'm in a movie, thinking that I'm like gonna be seen or something. And you're just like, did I switch it?
No, you're good.
And you're just like in a horde of people. And I remember one of the guys yelling, he's like, "Oh shit, I was in prison yesterday and now I'm in a movie," you know? Because like they hire anybody who's willing, they
Yeah.
don't do a background check or anything, which is pretty cool.
Which also kind of that whole mentality that kind of is a good talk about like show business or whatever. It's like one day I was in a prison, the next day I'm in a movie, and the next day you might be back in that prison. So it's like that's the highs and the lows of all that stuff, right?
I mean, I haven't experienced that, but that seemed
Good
pretty,
for you. Good
yeah.
for you. Listen, hopefully you never do experience the fucking prison.
Hopefully.
But anyways, carry on. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No worries. So yeah, I started like kind of researching acting a little bit, like asking questions online and trying to look up schools, going to different schools, and realizing that like I'm interested in this, and I never thought of it before. To me, like I had
Mm-hmm.
in Madison, like I had a teacher come up to me and be like, you know what, you have a good look. You should be like commercials, or maybe we'll do some theater stuff. And in my mind, my mentality was so fucked
Mm-hmm.
up. I was like, actor, but I'm not gay. What are you talking about? And that was
That's
a
pretty funny
real
though.
weird like mental thing that I had. Like an actor must be gay, even though all my heroes were like actor Schwarzenegger and all those action heroes, you know.
Well,
Like, but I didn't
some of
connect
them are
that.
actually like Travolta and what's his face?
I mean, it doesn't matter how fucked up my mentality was, but that was like the
Yeah,
connection, you know.
yeah, yeah.
And when we did that little background thing, I was like, wow, this is like a reality. Even though, you know, it was nothing, but to me, it
Mm-hmm.
was something. And that made me like take a bunch of classes, go to different schools, and realize like, you know, I, you know, the teachers are recognizing me and I'm starting to like stand out a little bit. And I'm like, this feels good. And I really want to try to do a good job. And this one school, the acting studio on 54th Street, um, James Price, amazing teacher, like the best teacher I've ever had. He fucking opened me up, man, with like these scenes and repetitions where like I just started pouring out and like I was
Mm-hmm.
crying for days. Just I don't know, just amazing, amazing work that he made us do. And after that, I just wanted to be better and better and better. And there's a lot of highs and lows in this shit, and you know, you go out for like hundreds of auditions,
Mm-hmm.
and there's like times where like I've had shit where for 3 years I didn't book anything. And how do
Right.
you keep going in a job where like you're not working for three
It's
years? You know,
literally the definition of insanity, right? Like trying the same thing
it's
in some
crazy.
ways.
It's crazy because you're like, and you know, people after you're not working for 3 years, people around you like, you know, even though they support you, are like, maybe you should do
Yeah, maybe
something
this
else. You
isn't for
know,
you. Maybe.
when I was just starting, like the first time I tried to like read lines with my mom,
Mm-hmm.
and mistake, and
Yeah, yeah.
I've
You
never
don't do
done it
that. Yeah, yeah.
afterwards. But the first time I did it, you know, and she's like the kindest woman in the world and super like gentle and supportive. And after reading the first time, she was like, you know what? Maybe you're just not good at this, you know? And
Wow.
that was so fucking hurtful. But I learned from that not to ever do
Right, right,
auditions with
right,
my
right,
mom, you
right.
know?
Because
And
yeah, because it's a different story, man. It's a different story. Also, I'm sure when you get inside that room, it's a different process than sitting and reading the lines with somebody. Also.
oh, definitely, yeah. But and I was doing that wrong in the beginning too. I would get like really high and really drunk and try to
Mm-hmm.
get the fear out of me, and then go do the
That's pretty
scenes.
funny. So you'd be fucked up and should
Which,
forget lines.
dude,
Like,
no, I wouldn't forget lines, but I was like scared because I'm in the room and like my lips are chattering because I'm so fucking scared, but they
mm-hmm.
can't see that like
Right,
it's just in my head and like maybe
right, right,
physically,
right.
but like as long as you keep going, nobody knows, and you can
It's kind
kind
of
of
like
look good.
stand up. Stand up is very similar in some ways, and
Don't show
sometimes.
fear, just keep going.
Right. That's pretty funny though. Do you think that's because like the Russian blood inside that like that's the mentality of like never fucking show any fear, even though you're like inside you're like dying. You could never show anybody that you're dying inside.
It was more of like, let me try to numb myself out as much because I'm so terrified.
Got it. Just take the edge off,
I
basically.
mean, I'd take down like 2 shots of like scotch and like smoke a joint before I come in, smelling like shit. I don't know
That's pretty
how
funny.
how fucking
But you
they
still
were.
booked some stuff back
Dude, I
then.
booked some stuff. It's
Yeah, I
crazy.
remember. I remember you were booking. See, even though you were like, this is the thing that people don't know though. Even though you were like not booking for whatever time, you were still doing background work. You were still kind of in the grind, in the mix of it all, and doing your little thing. That's what keeps you going and stuff like that. Just being around that, and you booked like some. Weren't you a stand-in or something like that for a show?
Doing like background work and standing work kills your soul a little bit.
Well,
But
yeah,
you have to do it
it's
for money
grown.
when you're not booking other shit.
Right, right.
But there's like a hierarchy that you can clearly see how well people treat you based on like your position, whether it be like background, stand-in,
Mm-hmm.
principal, or higher principal, or guest star, or like
Right.
reoccurring. Like it's visibly noticeable how
Yeah,
well
yeah,
you're
yeah.
treated. And like background is the bottom, and then stand-in is a little better, and then principal, and you get like if you get to a certain point, you're like treated like a god, man. It's wild.
Yeah. You're like the main star and shit. That's how fucking Alec Baldwin gets away with killing people and shit. I'm just joking. Guys. Making jokes over here. It's a comedy podcast. Everybody, don't get offended. I know. Listen.
I'm not gonna say.
Yeah, I know. No comment. Listen. But yeah, man, that's fucking great though. Like, it's a whole hustle on its own. Just the whole audition process and getting it. There's a specific way to audition, also, right? It's not just the ABC thing, right? You have to learn how to audition. You have to learn how to talk to like the to the people there and stuff like that.
Definitely. Even like, well, right now, most of the auditions are self tapes or live, like kind of a Zoom type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But before, you actually have to come in the room and you see like 20 other people that look exactly like you, but like supermodels.
That's pretty funny.
So if you think you look good, you walk into an audition, there's 20 other people
right.
that look like you, but about 50% better looking,
but
at least.
Is everybody talented? That's the other thing, right? Everybody looks a certain way. That's what I've come to realize, is sometimes the best looking people tend to not have that much talent. And if somebody's good looking and talented, that's a fucking, you know?
The thing is, half of them have been in the game longer than you and do the job better than you. So to get the role, you have to fucking like just forget about everything and just dive into it and repetition and do it over and pull as much shit as you can. And you usually get sides, like, which are your lines for the little scene the night before or like the day before.
Mm-hmm.
And you just, as soon as I get them, I drop everything. I start running them back, like just, you know, reading the lines, then trying to like remember line by line, and then slowly start like repeating it without the script, and then slowly repeat it over and over until you start like hating and wanting to vomit that shit. And then that's when shit starts coming out and you're like, oh, okay, I can see this, I can see that, and it starts evolving into something more. And you keep doing it until it's like morning time and you wake up early and do it again and run it over and over again, run it on the train like a crazy person standing there just
it is pretty crazy. But you know what, I guess it's a job. It's just a different kind of job, right?
But the thing is, most of this job is you're working your ass off for free. When you book the work, that's actually like the joy. Like the actual work is the joy, and it's fucking nerve-wracking too.
Right.
Like you're just like, oh my god, like I'm panic. Like I was doing Magnum Pi, which was like a big fucking
shout out Magnum Pi, yo.
Word. Big nice guest star role. I was like the main villain of a season finale.
Tell the people what episode. Tell them where they can find you. Tell them the name of the episodes. Yo, people seeing this eventually are gonna. Hopefully, there's fucking. You know.
I don't remember. But you can look on IMDb. If you search my name, you can see Magnum Pi and what episode is this.
Do you remember what season it was?
I don't.
All right, guys. We'll pull it. we'll figure it out. We'll let you guys know.
My bad.
It's okay, man. Listen, I'm supposed to be prepared. I'm the fucking this is my podcast. I'm supposed to tell people when it is, but you know. But fuck it, man. We'll do it live. Like they fuck. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
But yeah, man. But carry on. I'm sorry. I keep fucking interrupting with stupid shit.
No, it's good because if I get like, you know, I get excited talking about this shit, and if I get excited, I'll just fucking railroad people,
that's what.
And like, I need you to interrupt me because otherwise, I'll just railroad you over, man.
There we go, man. So, but yeah. So when you're working on Magnum Pi.
So on the way there, because it was shooting in Hawaii, and like we were just coming out of a pandemic, and that was the first job I got, like after not like working for like a good like 2.5 years of just like auditioning, and every audition, you know, you get a call back or people put you on hold, but I'm not booking anything for fucking 2.5 years. You know how hard that shit is mentally?
Man. Yeah, I know what it is, dude.
Yeah.
One, I'm on dating apps, and two, I'm an artist, so I know exactly what it's like to be lied to and told things, and fucking those things never happened to. And I realize that it's all part of. I love it now. Like I used to fight against it. Now I'm like, oh, this is just part of the whole ride. It all comes with this. This is all hilarious. It's funny. It's awesome.
I try not to get excited about anything. Like
me neither.
Just like, let me see, wait till I film it, and then like maybe you'll get cut, so like wait till I see it, and then like I still don't believe it. No, I'm not trusting nobody.
I have a friend she's an actress, and she like got casted for certain things, and she's like all excited, and I'm like, all right, see what happens, and then she's like, why can't you just be fucking happy for me? I'm like, I'll be happy for you. After all, but then it'll, you know what I'm saying? 9 out of 10 times, I know the process just because like it never happens the way you think it does. You have this magical feeling, and then eventually you learn to let it all die and to just accept whatever comes, and that's when the great stuff really happens.
That's different though, because that's for somebody else. So you gotta like just be excited for them. You can't put them on like
But I feel like
reality and shit, because then they're gonna hate you.
yeah, that's exactly what happened when I'm like, well, reality check, and it's like they're like, you're Mr. fucking Buzzkill. I'm like, actually, no, I'm Mr. Buzz been killed. You know,
your heart's in a good place, but the actions are not right. You know.
Yeah, maybe you gotta lie to people, let them know everything's gonna be
It's
great.
not a lie. Be excited with them. You know, they're excited. Don't like give them their bad shit that can happen. Let them learn on their own. You know.
You're right. You're right. You know what? That's what I've come to realize is that sometimes you gotta let go and like let other people figure it out on their own. With me, I like to like I feel like I want to help people, and I'm like, oh no, you shouldn't go down that block because I know what's down that block. But sometimes you gotta let people go down that block so they realize what's down that block. You know,
that's the best way to not be like seen as an asshole in that situation. You know.
Yep. But you know, there's been times where somebody has called me an asshole about something and then has later thanked me for, you know, whatever it is. So
I'm pretty sure I've done that a couple
yeah,
of times.
yeah, listen, I'm fucking very, you know, I'm very whatever it is, but sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong, you know. I'm willing to accept when I am sometimes, and sometimes I'm not willing to accept when I am sometimes. But listen, I'm fucking human, I'm trying, you know what I mean? We're all in this fucking boat trying to fucking swim no matter what.
I hear you, man.
You know? But man, get back to the story. So
oh yeah, so it was on the plane there. First of all, it was the first plane ride out of the pandemic, which I was scared for, and like we huddled up. We fucking like fixed this balcony. We stayed inside, like barely came outside. We were crazy about that shit because we were scared. People were saying like, "You're gonna go outside and you're gonna fucking die." And we were scared.
I heard it too, but I ain't never scared.
Where? So on the plane, like, and I have this when I book something, like I kind of start bugging out. Like I start having like a complex of like, oh shit, I'm not ready for this. Like, oh why?
Reality
no, like
sinks
it's not.
in. Yeah.
Like they're gonna know I'm a fraud and shit. Like, and like I'm like, this is too big. I can't do this. I can't do this. And then like an hour later, like, I put the work in. I got this shit, son. You know, like I'm gonna fucking kill that shit. But the roller coaster, because I'll wake up the next day and I'm like, oh no, I'm a fraud. You know,
it's
like,
the self doubt. It's the self doubt. That's the hardest part to deal with. Is the self doubt. That's, you know.
Well, it's a lot of pressure because like you come in, all the main actors are there. Like they hired stunt people. They hired like pyro shit where shit is gonna blow up. You have guns. You have fucking like.
Say that again. What do they have? I'm just joking.
That's scary too. Like especially like we were doing scenes where we were you know shooting like automatic rifles in the forest, and you just do, and I was literally scared. And there's somebody like to make it look real with like a paintball gun.
Oh shit, that's pretty
at
dope.
the, like you know where you are. And
that's
I'm like,
pretty dope.
Don't fucking hit my face, please. And I'm like hiding behind the tree, and they're like, all right, I'm gonna do pop 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 pop, and then I'm like, okay, but I'm gonna put my face out. Don't hit my face, please. Like
that's pretty funny that you have to talk to those guys and actually let them know. Like, listen, dude, don't fucking.
Well, no, they're like super professional, and like that was like really a weird thing that happened with that Alec Baldwin thing.
Yeah,
that doesn't like how many times guns are used and how many times that happens. Like,
well, yeah, but we're gonna go into some fucking QAnon conspiracies, and we don't want to go into that.
Let's skip that.
We don't want to. Yeah, we want to skip all of that stuff. I don't think people want to hear fucking.
Fuck that shit.
Nobody knows what actually happened. Talking about what actually happened and shit. That's That's how I feel about it.
But most of the shit that I do is involving like
guns.
I'm either getting shot or shooting somebody.
Right.
And most of the time I'm getting shot.
And there's also I'm sure there's very high rigorous standards that they go through to make sure safety is stuff. Because listen, those sets got insurance on them, and they do not want to get sued. I'm sure.
But see how they do it is like, okay, the armor comes through and like shows everybody the gun and there's nothing inside, or like shows that you know there's like bullets with not actual bullets inside just to make a sound and the noise and the fire.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really know that shit. So like, yeah, they come show it to me. It might as well be a bullet in there, and I wouldn't fucking know.
I'll tell you one thing. When I used to work in the Brooklyn Navy Yard, they used to film a bunch of shows, literally like right where my office used to be.
Steiner Studio.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Steiner Studios is a little bit further away. They have like it's like a warehouse, and what's funny is like it's a bunch of movie. It's the same fucking warehouse that's in the background of a bunch of films, but you don't realize that it's the
Yeah.
same, like literally. But anyways, but they're constantly filming there, and I would constantly find little bullet shells
Hmm.
around the area. I would take them home, and then one time I brought them home, and I had them laying there, and somebody's like, "You probably shouldn't collect those." I'm like, "Why?" Because like if something happens, somebody finds that you have a bunch of bullet shells in your house. It's probably not a good sign.
Maybe somebody was actually like fake, or just like, you know,
It's just the top, the back.
practicing at the Navy Yard
Maybe
with real bullets.
no. I would say highly no because that was a very like a that's a place where they have like this glass building over there, right? Also where they do like a bunch of conventions and shows. So there's constantly people and stuff there. So I wouldn't, and that's right where the ferry also stops.
At night, it's pretty empty, man.
It's probably empty. Maybe, yeah, maybe somebody's bored at night and just shooting at like ducks or rats that are running around the Navy Yard or something. Like maybe that. Listen, I don't know. Listen, who knows?
They'll find your fingerprints on the bullets in
They're like, oh,
in your
that's-
house to some murder and shit.
That's the guy who killed Batman. 'Cause that's what was, I think they filmed like Gotham or something over there and shit. But yeah, man, fucking. So you've seen them do the fucking armory shit, and it's pretty safe most times.
Yeah, there's definitely like they go through the whole process. It's nobody touches except the armor, the weapons and stuff, and they show it to you every time. Every time the scene is done, they take it back from you.
Yeah, they don't. They don't let you take it out for the night.
Yeah, like if you're wearing like a cop jacket or anything like that, or have any like
Badges.
yeah, they make you turn the jacket inside out. Like it's always
Really?
like,
Yeah, because they don't want you to like do anything. Because I'm sure stuff has happened.
right. So definitely like it's weird that happened.
It's an accident. It's a very unfortunate thing. And the girl was Ukrainian, right? So
Yeah, I think so.
yeah, that's where I was born. So it's fellow country people. Fucking, you would thought that the fucking that the Soviet Union would have got her, but I mean, like, let me not go into these sort of things because you know what? I'm afraid of Alec Baldwin. To be honest with you, I'm afraid of him.
I really like them on 30 Rock.
I like him. I like his whole family. I really like his whole family. I think they're great people. But yeah, man, they make good movies. Very, very unfortunate. Biodome was a great movie. Shout out to Stephen. I was on a plane one time with Stephen Baldwin. Actually, after coming back from my brother's wedding from his first wife, we were on a plane coming back from Vegas, and Mr. Stephen Baldwin was sitting next to us in coach. Yes, I said it. He was in coach, but you know what he did? He did the smart thing where he upgraded when he got on the plane. He's like, "Excuse me," and then they took him to the front. And I didn't even recognize him. My mom actually recognized him. She's like a Russian lady. She's like, "Do you know who that is?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "That's one of those brothers Baldwin." That's what she called him. She called him brothers Baldwin. I was like, "Oh, okay, I know who that is now." But yeah. But yeah, man, fucking. So back to the story.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about filming Magnum Pi. What else? Oh, you were in a bunch of shows. People can check you out on Netflix, right? On what's the Startup, right?
Startup is a sick show. I saw season 1. I loved it, and then I got a chance to audition. I think for season 2. I think season 2, and I was in like 4, maybe or 5 episodes of that.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking awesome show. Really relevant about crypto and like the dark net and all
It's
that.
funny
shit.
because that came out long before. Like that was right when kind of Bitcoin first kind of became a public thing.
Not that long, not that far away, because I think Bitcoin was like 2010 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was ahead of its time, and it came out on Crackle, and we got to film in Puerto Rico, which was amazing.
Yeah, that was dope. Was that the first time you got to get to like go away on like to film and stuff like that?
No, for the Purge election year, I got to go to Rhode Island.
Oh,
for 2
that's
weeks.
right, guys. That's right. Yo, we should have started off with that. That should have been the starting credit, guys. So for you guys all might be familiar with Roman's work. He was Uncle Sam in Purge election year. If you look at the poster, the Uncle Sam character, the guy behind the mask is the man that's sitting next to me right now.
Yeah, man, that was a lot of fun for 2 weeks they had me out in Rhode Island, and I actually got dubbed over because I was wearing a mask.
Right.
So I got dubbed over, and the whole time I was like, this is a big franchise. I saw like the first Purge, and this like was the third Purge,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, wow, this is fucking awesome. And that was the first time like I got shooting on location, and I was like feeling so amazing. And what actually happened on set, and it's weird that I didn't hear like anybody talk about it when they like went on the bigger shows, the bigger stars from that movie.
Mm-hmm.
We were chilling on the road, which was closed off, doing a scene, and all of a sudden a car starts. Well, first of all, the lighting was off, and they're like, "Okay, take 5 minutes. We'll change the lighting." And we got up, but like the main actors were on the floor, and we were holding knives, and I was like yelling some shit at them.
Okay.
They told us to get up, and as soon as we got up, like a minute after we got up, for them to change the lighting, a car ran through the road where we were, would have fucking killed us all, went around like the blockades, and cops chasing. It was a real guy trying to run away from the cops.
Chase.
And like a block down, he flipped over.
Wow.
But if it was like a minute earlier, we would have got ran over.
That's crazy.
And it was like 10 people would have
That's
all ran over.
crazy. Imagine that.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. And how quickly everybody, like 5 minutes later, it was all fine. We were doing the scene. Nobody talking.
That's crazy. And it probably
fine.
added to the value with the cop car lights in there. Or no, they didn't even film that or anything like that.
No, they didn't film that. But I was really excited about that, and I wouldn't let myself be excited. I'm like, no, like, I gotta wait and see until it comes out. Like, I'm in a mask the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And then when it came to be closer, and I saw they used like me posing as like
the movie poster,
and I'm like, wow, that looks so sick. Maybe like I should let myself be like happy about that shit.
Yeah,
and
man.
I'm like, no, fuck it. I'm not gonna like. I need to see it, and then I'll be fine. And when we go to the theater. Was it with you?
No, I didn't go with you to the theater. It was with somebody else.
It was a friend. It was two friends of mine. We go to the theater, and on top of the theater, I see like my
the
picture,
poster. How
like,
great is that?
Wow! Now I can like allow myself to be happy. And we're watching that shit, and I hear myself dubbed over, and I'm like, oh, my heart sinks. And my friends are like, that's not your voice. And I'm like,
man,
shit, it hurts so much. But the cool thing is, the director was really cool. And he had me like come back multiple times, but he didn't really tell me that it was like nobody let me know that I was dubbed over, and they didn't have me dub it over.
Right. I mean,
they changed the words like because they told me like just make make
gestures.
some shit up like based on like this is your feeling, and I did it, but maybe they didn't like it. They changed the language because some of it was in Russian. They made it like
They knew what they were
American
doing. No, they knew they were gonna take that out in post.
I don't know.
But you got the credit, right?
I got the credit.
So
I got the
go.
money, so that's fine. And a bunch of people like reached out. Like people were wearing the Uncle Sam costume.
How awesome is that? How awesome is that?
Wild. And people were reaching out to me like, oh, because Purge has like a
it's a cult following. Yep.
Yeah. So people were reaching. People still reach out occasionally.
How awesome is that? That's fucking awesome, dude.
It's fun, yeah. But some of it is like really weird, like
satanic shit.
Up for this shit, and like I'm gonna make people pay. I'm like, what the fuck? No, I don't.
Because the way that a character does or whatever it is,
Yeah, it's a little dark.
Yeah. But
like,
listen,
don't do that.
They're like, I'm gonna fucking kill people in your name. Like, nope, don't fucking do that, man. That's not what I'm trying to do, Right. But no, that's really cool. That I remember actually, because I remember when you told me you did the Purge. I actually made a joke too. I don't know if you remember this. I was like, oh shit. I remember in the first Purge, there was like a story that I read how one of the background actors, he's the main picture in the photo, and I was like, and he tried to like sue them or whatever because they used his image and he only got paid as like a background actor, like nothing for the day and stuff like that. And his image is literally like all the promotional stuff is just him. I was like, it would be funny if they do the same to you and fuck you. I remember making that joke, and then I remember driving in my car from like somewhere, and I remember seeing the actual on the highway. seeing the big billboard with the Uncle Sam, and I remember going, "Oh shit, they fucking use his shit." I don't know if I think I took a picture of it and I sent it to you or something.
I remember somebody sending from LA. There was like a huge.
Yes, my friend I think sent it. I told her that you were doing. I think she sent me the picture from LA, and
It
I
was
was like,
like a building size Uncle Sam poster.
something like a huge billboard with that thing. But I remember seeing it. I remember it was like on the BQE also they had one. I remember see, or maybe I'm just fucking you know how memory works.
Right.
But yeah, I remember seeing it. I remember showing you. I'm like, oh shit, that's exactly what happened. They like used you for the promotional photo.
Well, I remembered them like in between takes. They're like pose for pictures, like,
Right.
and I didn't know what that was for.
Right.
And they ended up using it as the poster.
How awesome is that,
It
though?
was sick, man. I really enjoyed it, but it was like, it was amazing, and it also hurt a lot.
It's one of those things. That's the nature of all of this shit. Is that like you know what I realized that if you ask the universe for things, right? You're always gonna get them, maybe, but you're not gonna get them the way you think you are,
Or when you think you will.
or when you think. Yeah, it
Because I
comes
do that shit all the time, and I run through a list now. I'm like,
like, hey, universe.
it's like I tell people that I don't really believe in God, but I pray all the time. You know?
Yep. You know, it's funny. Victor has a joke. Shout out to Victor Boda. He was on the first episode of the podcast, Outside the Grizzly Pear. We're going to have him back in a couple of episodes. But he has a joke. I keep fucking quoting his jokes on this podcast, but whatever. I'm sure he'll give me the permission. His joke is, I don't believe in God, but I'm afraid of him. You know?
Victor Boda's mad funny.
Yeah, Victor
and
Boda.
He's an amazing host, and he's an amazing person, man.
He's a fucking... You mean a host at his house?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, guys, coming soon, we're going to have Cooking with Victor. That's going to be a cooking show that I'm producing with Victor Boda, where, so one of the things that Victor loves to do when you come over his house is he always cooks an amazing meal. He's always the most, hospitable, chef, and he always makes something cool, unique, and delicious. So that's going to be the podcast. We're going to be filming it in another week or two, but yeah, it's going to be Cooking with Victor, so stay tuned, guys.
Everything he says is just funny. His attitude is
He's
like,
hilarious. He's just a hilarious fucking dude. They saw him. He's on the first episode, guys. If you're watching this, go back and watch the first episode live from the Grizzly Pear. That was the first Break Oleg podcast that we filmed over there, and he's on it. He's one of the guests, and he's hilarious, guys. Check it out. Let's see. You were telling me before how you went to some spa.
Yeah, we love, like, me and my girl love going to spas. And like Russian bathhouse, which is a spa, but it's a little different. It's all about the sauna.
It's a banya. For those that don't
yeah.
know, it's a Russian banya. And for the Russian listeners out there, if there's any, you know what the fuck we're talking about.
Straight up, kid.
You know what I'm saying?
So, the banya is very important to me. It's like a day vacation that you can take, when you need to, like, really relax. Because you feel so good afterwards. And we try to go, every time we travel or go anywhere, we try to see what their banya is like, Because different countries, different
That's interesting.
cultures have different banyas.
I know Korean has baths where you got to be butt ass naked the whole time there.
No, those are just for there's like the men's because they make you wear like communist clothes, like the castle spa. And
Do
shit.
they really?
Yeah, you have to wear blue for guys or like pink for
Really?
women. And there's a huge male locker room with like all kinds of like.
That's right. We got buses passing by because this is the fucking. See that? You see it in the background passing by. Yeah, but that's how we do it, man. Anyways, back to the conversation.
Yeah, so they have these huge like water pools and all kinds of different shit, like for the men and for the women, where you can be naked. And then you go upstairs and it's like all together communicative stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the best, first of all, we like to go to the sauna in the city, Fulton Street on the Spy 88.
Shout out Spy 88 if you're looking to send some fucking money for the fucking shout out for the advertisement. Hit up the Break Oleg podcast.
Shit ain't free, son.
Shit ain't free, or you know what? I'll accept free fucking free
Guest passes.
Free guest passes, guys.
Yeah, there's a sauna that we tried to get into that said they were gonna open in September, but they're taking their time opening up. It's a European, like Italian spot. It's gonna open on Governor's Island.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, man. It's like you're chilling in a pool. There's like all kinds of saunas and water therapy, and you're looking at the city, and you feel like you're in a different like upstate or some shit.
And
looking at the city.
you could only get in if you're not vaccinated. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking, guys.
You have to be
I
vaccinated.
know. You probably do. But you know how you gotta be vaccinated or whatever.
Governor's Island also has a kimchi taco truck, which is amazing.
Kimchi tacos.
It's so good, but you gotta get there like earlier because by lunchtime or late lunch,
It's
they
all
sell
gone.
out.
It's
They
all
sell out.
gone.
And they have a lot, but it's so good. Like you'll eat it even if you're not hungry.
Bro, I love kimchi. I love tacos.
They're so
You
good.
put them together and you fucking, you know what I mean?
Dude, $1.50 for a ferry, or I think even if it's like under 11 a.m., then it's free, and it takes like 2 minutes to ferry from South Street.
Seaport or
Yeah, whatever. South Street, downtown Brooklyn to like Governor's Island, and it's amazing. You can rent bikes for like $30, and you just chill right
and you
around
stay
all
there.
day.
You stay there overnight.
Only if you do the glamping shit.
Oh yeah, yeah. You went glamping over there. You get a little cabin.
But we just go for the day sometimes because it's just nice to rent a bike and you feel like you're in the country. There's like all kinds of like green grass and shit and hammocks and like all kinds of food trucks and art shit. It's amazing. Like you can get away to upstate and see the city from there. There's
That's
like
pretty
historical
cool.
shit. It's really Ermengarde just read that they're gonna open up a ferry from South Brooklyn straight to Governor's Island. So
Oh, that's
from
pretty
Sheepshead Bay.
awesome. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
You know, and for those that don't know, Governor's Island is where is where Governor Cuomo likes to fucking chill and fucking do his thing over there.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? He's listen, he's just, and if he molests you, it's not that he molested you, it's just that he's Italian. That's how Italians say, hey, you know, hey, listen.
I have nothing to say.
I know, hey, listen. No, Governor's Island. He's not the only one there. There's other governors over there. There's Dr. What's his name? I keep calling him doctors. I keep calling governors doctors, which is, you know, far from... No, remember the guy we had before a while ago? What's his name? The blind guy? Patterson? Governor Patterson?
Right.
Remember? That's where they keep him.
Wasn't he in New Jersey?
No. He was in Jersey. It was, remember when Elliot Spitzer... Remember Elliot Spitzer? Remember him?
Yeah.
So I think he was the governor, and then what happened was he was fucking some whore, and then they made it public, and it turns out that like you know they took him out of office, and then he had the replacement guy, which was Governor Patterson, I believe. But they're all on that island. Elliot Spitzer is on Governor's Island. Governor Patterson is on the island. Who else is on the island? Governor.
I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. But
You know.
if you go there for the day on a nice, warm, sunny day and rent some bikes and ride around, you can ride around the whole island in like 20 minutes. You ride around, get tapas and drinks from different places. It's such a wonderful time, and you don't have to go far.
I mean, there's so many gems in New York. One thing that I noticed when we used to fucking go out in the city was that you are the master of finding little gems in the city. There's all these little spots that like you don't realize that they're just fun, like little hotels, this and that have an awesome bar inside of them, like yeah, and like mini golf, and like there's so many little adventures that I remember we got into just from like wandering in and this and that, and you find out that there's like a cool little place to eat and it's dirt cheap and they got beers, they got everything you need, you know?
Yeah, I love finding little gems, but it's different now. First of all, I don't come out that much, but
Right, it's different. Everything's half those places are closed. I bet now. They
yeah,
don't
you
even
don't even
exist.
know what's open.
I don't even know what's anything anymore. Literally, I really don't know. Like I don't know where to go out on dates. Like I like taco trucks. That's been my safe bet for like this whole pandemic is taco trucks.
Although I was out there today, and shit is packed, especially like
Yeah, a lot of
the
places are packed
village
out.
and stuff. Packed, people chilling, like having like no pandemic, no nothing. Everything is like chilled, and now all the restaurants have like at least double the space. Some
Right.
are building like double deckers outside places that
Right.
are like tighter than their actual restaurant. and
That's
shit.
you mean like the little boxes outside?
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
they're building 2-floor boxes now.
Yeah, especially on Broadway, I think. But they were told that you're not allowed to do like 2 floors now.
I think it's a fire hazard.
Well, I don't know.
I think
Maybe.
it's a safety hazard. It's a fire hazard. There's some issues going on with it.
But it's
Or-
not an outside space. They're straight up building a building next to their restaurant.
Basically, that's what's happening now. And then what's gonna happen is they're gonna wind up having to rent those things out as apartments because everything's gonna be so expensive soon. You know.
But I like the aesthetic of it. The parking sucks, but the parking always sucked. but the outside spots look like you're, in Europe or some shit.
You know what's funny? This is how you know, like European people that like we've been to Europe. Everybody tells me I love it. It sounds good. The first thing that all my friends from Brooklyn that like grew up in Brooklyn said, literally, like when they started seeing those things, what they said is, "I can't wait to fucking see a car crash into one of those things."
It's terrible, man.
You know, because that's how a New Yorker thinks. He sees something, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you know what's gonna happen? Some jerk off is gonna drive drunk and plow into you while you're fucking eating your mashed potatoes for dinner." You know?
That's some cynical shit. But I
But it's
had at least like 10 conversations about that
right. You
while
know?
eating in one of those.
You know, like,
places,
hey guys, it would be pretty fucked up if a car just plowed into us right now.
No, you're sitting on one of those corner spots and you see like cars, turning the corner mad
Mhm.
quick in Bay Ridge, especially. Like,
Yeah. And you're like, all right, we're good.
Yeah.
I had a situation happen where I parked in front, like behind one of those things, and my headlights are kind of bright, and I didn't realize it because I was on the phone in my car, and like the owner of the restaurant comes out, he's like, "Hey, excuse me, can you turn off your headlights?" I'm like, "What? Huh?" And I'm like, so I like my headlights have like two things. They have like a LED, and they have the main one. So I turn off the main one, and like the bottom is just like a line, and he's like, and that only turns off once I turn off the car and open up the door. So like I'm like turned it off, and he's like. I'm like, all right, I turned it off. He's like, can you do the ones on the bottom also? I'm like, no, I can't do them. And it turned into like a little fucking argument where I'm like, when I get out the car, they'll turn off. Like I had to explain it to him, and like it was, yeah.
I'm impressed that you didn't tell him to go fuck himself right away.
I actually, what I did is I turned them off, right? And I said, okay, no problem. And then he continued to, and then I said, no, they're turn off once I get out the car, this and that. And then he continued to like ask me, and that's when I actually did tell him to, you know what, why don't you go fuck yourself? Because no, it did turn into that. It really did. I was just trying to make it seem nice and stuff like that. Because it always turns into that. It always turns into that where like people are nice that I'm like, guys, yeah, here we go. And then they're like, no, can you, like, people ask for a fucking inch, you give them an inch, and then they ask for a mile, and then you're like, no, motherfucker. But yeah, that's what happened, How long have we been talking for? It feels like we've been talking for a while.
I don't know, man. It looks like the sun has gone down.
Sun has gone down. It's definitely, but listen, it's been fun chatting. Let me take a look really quickly at how long we've been on this thing for.
Definitely felt like a nice conversation. Very nice.
Yeah, man. Very fucking good conversation. You definitely have to come back to the podcast. You definitely have to keep us, you definitely have to be one of these guests that keep us informed of how things are going, man. Roman's going places. Hopefully they're good places.
Yo, I got something that's in pre-production right now that I already filmed that's going to come out with... it's untitled right now. You can find it on IMDb if you search my name. It says Untitled, and the director is Justin Lin. Amazing director.
Is that the guy who directed the Fast and the Furious? Is that
he did Fast and the Furious 9 and a whole bunch of other shit. Just like amazing dude. And we filmed over the summer for a new TV show that I'll be in the pilot. And I hope it's gonna come out well. Like I was really impressed with how he works and like how it's some emotional shit. So we'll see how that turns out.
That's awesome, man. It's awesome that you're getting a chance to work with some of these bigger names and stuff like that. It's a testament to the you put in the work, you see the result.
Been grinding it out for a long time, man.
It's what it is. It's all a hustle. You gotta have to keep fucking hustling, and you know what? Rejection is part of the process, and it's a
roller coaster. You gotta understand that you'll happy today, you'll be sad tomorrow, but tomorrow after that is another day, and it just goes up and down.
Right.
And how you manage the low parts of the roller coaster is a big deal. Find yourself a brush and some paint and manage those low points.
Listen, one thing that I gotta give to Roman when it comes to the acting, he's always had the mentality. I know a lot of people that go into these sort of things, they're doing it because they want to be famous, they want the fame. Roman has always been like, I just want to work. He just wants to work. He just literally wants to go and work. And I think that's the mentality that you need to have in all of this stuff, is that you can't be searching for fame and this and that because...
Well, that doesn't come right away, though. Because at first I was like, I can scheme this shit and be famous.
Right.
And make some money. But once you start getting into it, and if you really like it, then it's about the work.
Right.
And,
you realize that the fame is just the byproduct of the work. It's not necessarily the goal.
You want to be appreciated for what you do, and you want to do it well, where like your peers will look at it and be like, okay, that's impressive. Like you want your peers to respect you. But like fame, I still want that shit. I'll be honest about that shit. I still want that shit. And before I was like, I'm tired, like always being like the bad guy, and like nobody's giving me a chance, nobody's giving me a shot.
Look at that. You broke the motherfucking
I'll
rooster,
fix it
bro.
later. It's
You
all
broke
good.
the rooster. You were fucking with it the whole podcast, and now the rooster lost the fucking wing. For those that don't see, it's down there, everybody. Look at that. The rooster lost the fucking wing.
I'll fix it. It's fine.
That cock can't give a hand job now.
You got another hand.
Oh, shit.
Anyway,
You were saying
I was saying
about
that,
the work.
I was upset about like always being the bad guy and like nobody's giving me a shot, and I'm always playing the Russian guy. But I'm pretty happy, like at this point, because I was doing like background work and it was killing me inside, and I was like, if somebody would only give me a line, and I got that. Like the first job was the Blacklist season finale. It was amazing and it worked out well. And I was like, well, if somebody can give me something like a guest spot right now, and then you get that, and like, okay, I got there, but now I need to have a reoccurring, and you get there, and you're like, okay, but I need to be like a nice guest star, and you get that, and like, it seems that no matter what it is,
It's not good
the
enough.
line will always fucking move. No, it is good enough. I'm super happy,
Right.
but like, the line is always fucking moving, and I think that's the point of life, because if you don't have that like next goal, it's fucking boring. And if you're like, okay, like right now, me and my girl are trying to get a house, build our own sauna, do like a pool, a little Airbnb, and that's the goal. So I just want to work. I just want to get like whatever like job I can get for acting. So doing a lot of shit, pushing my art, and like trying to be a part of the NFT community. I'm all about crypto, like all over the
Yo,
place.
where can people buy your NFTs and see them?
Rabbit artwork on OpenSea. Rabbit artwork on
I'll put it up on the screen
BitClout
also.
Diesel platform. I got raw heads on Ethereum. I got raw heads on Diesel. I got raw heads on Polygon. But if you go to rabbitartwork.com, there's everything that I got there. There's galleries. There's like all kinds of shit that you can see. Take a look, man. I love my work. I'm my own biggest fan. I hope you like it too.
Hell yeah. And then, you know what? I'm also one of your biggest fans. I've seen it from the beginning, and I've seen it evolve to where it is. And Rome's done a lot of work. He's collaborated with Dave Navarro on a piece. That's kind of that just goes a testament to how hard he works. Is that Dave Navarro took the time to collaborate on a piece of art with him. So
Well, honestly, like all the people that I've collaborated with have been like really kind and really nice. And what I like to do is I like to finish my part of the piece and then contact them saying like, look, I already have this made for you. If you want to jump on it, great. If not, like, I understand, like, your time is valuable. You have other shit to do. I understand. Like, I'm not going to feel bad about it. But I never want to contact somebody with an idea. I want to contact them with already, look, I've done everything. All you have to do is jump on if
Add
you
your
want.
flavor.
And if you don't, no worries, man. And people respond really well to that. And like the collabs always come out fucking dope. We collabed together a couple
we did
times.
a
It's
collab.
fucking
We did a
dope.
collab.
Yeah.
We did a bunch of different little things. But yeah, man. What else? What else you got to share with the world? Let them know. Let them fucking know.
Man, just be mindful of yourself. Like self-awareness is really cool, and
Yes, it is.
helps you live a better life. And I know it sounds fucking weird and stupid, but like it really can help you be more positive, be more like aware of the things you're saying around other people, which makes other people want to help you, and like you get into shit, and like it leads to better things. Just be self-aware, practice mindfulness, and it doesn't hurt to like listen to like a 5-minute meditation app every now and then, and like to feel good. And always go through, if you're feeling bad, man, always go through the list. Did I go outside today? Did I work out today? Did I talk to a friend today? Like all these things really help. Activate your senses.
Absolutely.
If you feeling not so good today, like go outside, see what you smell, like feel what you smell, like notice specifically what are you smelling, the fresh air, whatever it is. Like notice the leaves, notice the trees, activate your senses. Like feel something, like taste something. If you work through all your senses, it'll get you out of your mind and into like the present, which is how you kind of feel better about any position that you're in.
Absolutely. I think it all starts in the mind and how you feel, and then it works its way from there. And know that everybody goes through it. Everybody's going through it. You guys, nobody's alone. Everybody goes through their own fucking shit. Everybody's got their own, not everybody's having a great day, but everybody's, just we're on the same rock, just spinning, So keep that in mind, guys. And it's been great having you on the show, Romes. I'll have you here more. You've been a great guest. It was awesome for you to share some of your stories. Hold on, we got another bus passing by. You hear that, everybody? Once again, it's part of being on the streets, guys. And once again, let the people know where they could find you. What's
Dude,
your
Thank you
handles?
so much for coming through and for
Thank you,
setting it
dude.
up like on the spot. I really appreciate the
Thank
way
you,
you're
man.
doing it. Like the way you're progressing in comedy and everything else you're doing. You're like just jumping in and you're like, I
Thank
don't
you,
give
man.
a fuck and I'm gonna rock this shit. Like, and that's the way you should do it.
Thank
and,
you,
like,
man. I appreciate that shit.
Good luck with everything. And I'm watching your progress and it's fucking dope, man.
Thank you, man.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that, guys. This is Roman Blat. I'm Oleg Cutler. Like, subscribe, follow. This is the Break Oleg podcast, guys. And this is us signing off, yo.
Charles.